Karl Anthony Towns, a blockbuster last-minute training camp deal that really shocked this city, man, with the departures of Randall and DiVincenzo. I think at this quarter season mark, the Knicks, because it took the Knicks fans a little while to get over that.
Yeah.
Julius had a big hive here. DiVincenzo had a big hive here. But the big bodega, Karl Anthony Towns, is showing you why the Knicks wanted him so badly. And he's just been outstanding so far.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the shooting earlier, right? That goes without saying. We didn't need to see what he could do in New York to mark him as one of the best shooting big men of all time. But
right.
What's really impressed me is the rebounding.
Yeah.
He's averaging over 13 a game, I believe. It's been a few seasons since he's averaged double-digit rebounding, and some of that is because he played with Gobert the last few years in Minnesota. I think it was like since Tibbs was there is the last time he averaged these type of numbers or close to it. And I think it says a lot about his ability to adapt. We all saw last year, and even a little bit the year before, him having to change his role and let Anthony Edwards take the driver's seat in Minnesota. For them to reach their potential, and they did. And it's not like he wasn't involved or anything like that, but it was very clear that there was a new alpha in town. And Cat did a very good job of adjusting, even and figuring. I mean, not even just Anthony Edwards. Like, he had to adjust to having Rudy Gobert in town too, right? And you didn't really hear a peep out of him. You found a way to be effective. Now he's here. It's like he hasn't had to be the sole rebounder for a group. And obviously, Josh Hart is a tremendous rebounder, but Cat's the only one out there that's 7 foot. He's only 7-footer available on the roster right now, and he's among the league leaders in contested rebounds. Like I was saying this story to somebody earlier, when I was covering the Pistons and they traded for Blake Griffin, you have this idea of Blake as like this Hollywood, LA Clippers commercials, blah blah blah, right? But then you see him play every single day. It's like, oh, this dude busts his ass. Like he plays hard. Like he's very much what Detroit is about when it comes to like those legendary players. And I think Cat has a lot of New York in him. And I think he plays into it too.
Yeah.
But like the physicality has been there all year. And that's been what's most impressive with me is like he's been getting his hands dirty. Like he's doing, as much as he is a finesse player, he's doing a lot of the dirty work. And obviously there's defensive limitations, but I've been very impressed with his passing and his willingness to get guys open looks off his gravity, but also just like he's in there bare knuckles, like fighting with some of the nastiest in the block. So
yeah,
kudos to him and how he's adjusted his game to fit in with this group.
Yeah, I mean, defensive deficiencies aside, just like you said, with Julius gone and Mitchell Robinson out, you needed, because this Knicks team, they had that identity of being grit and grind, being physical. Every team would be like, oh man, this is a physical team. This is a tough team. You know, Julius would be a guy who would get those rebounds. Mitchell Robinson as well. And so for Karl Anthony Towns, that's been vital. Like you need somebody out there to do the dirty work, and he's been doing that. And then offensively, man, it's like when he got here, there's no second guessing anything on offense, man. He's making quick decisions. He's ready to go. If he wants to pull up, he's gonna pull up. If he's gonna make that pass, he's gonna make that pass. But his decision making, for the most part, offensively, I think has been outstanding.
Yep, I agree. I think the only knock you could really give him offensively is there's a couple things. He doesn't really punish smaller matchups. He's and teams scheme for that, right? Like he sees a lot of bodies, even if he has a smaller guy on him. He doesn't do a tremendous job of drawing contact. I know a lot of Knicks fans would probably say like, yeah, he should get a better whistle. And like in some ways I agree, but also like a lot of those are clean blocks. He's not the most athletic, right? Sometimes he puts the ball out there when he's rising up to either lay up or dunk, like that, pretty visible. He's not always shielding it. So if we have to knock Cat off at the perfect pedestal we kind of just put him on, like he does need to do a little bit better job of punishing the switches when that does happen. Yeah. And I think he needs to be just a little bit less careless on some drives, because he has been, again, 64% at the rim's not bad, but like it's part of it's lower end for him in his career.
And just as you said, not punishing the mismatches. I mean, I go back to that opening night against Boston, the way that Mazzulla, Drew Holiday, throws him out there. You can't move him. And it was very similar to the way they played Julius Randle. Similar thing. Guy who will not punish the mismatches. Very frustrating, but again, another game plan that I expect Boston to go back to when these teams meet again. But for now, Karl Anthony Towns has been more sensational than the Knicks will get over it, and hopefully he'll overcome it. But overall, he's been fantastic.